call the August 12th, 2014 regular meeting of the School Board of St. Lucie County to order. A warm welcome to all of you, whether you're here in our audience tonight or joining us on TV. We're glad you're here with us. If you would stand with me now for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the Kids at Hope Treasure Hunter Pledge. As an adult and a treasure hunter, I am committed to search for all the talents, skills, and intelligence that exist in all children and youth. I believe all children are capable of success, no exceptions. Thank you. Our graphics aren't working tonight. I'm sure you discovered that. I saw but it's amazing how rote memorization comes back and you just can spit it out. So if there are any in the audience tonight that wish to speak as an unscheduled speaker, we have forms in the back of the room and you could fill it out, and please get it up to Mrs. Harrison before the beginning of our business meeting. Superintendent Yost, I will turn to you for the special thanks and recognition.
Yes, ma'am. We have a single item this evening, and that is our STAR presentation. So we'd like to ask Ms. Jerger to come forward at this time and to restate our STAR criteria as we kick off our new school year. Welcome, Ms. Jerger.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be back in front of you this evening. I would like to give you a brief overview of a form that we're going to implement for this school year. This form will be posted on our website, and it will allow anyone to recommend an employee of our school district for STAR Awards. I got a lot of feedback from those that were awarded the STAR Award. I got a lot of feedback from principals and from other supervisors on what they felt needed to be addressed when recommending an employee to be a STAR. So with this, there's two forms. One actually spells out what an employee should accomplish, and it's very, very simple. That employee should have a high level of job performance. They should provide quality customer service and adhere to the St. Lucie Public Schools mission and values. Those are the basics that we expect from all of our employees, but we want to be able to acknowledge those that are doing it just because. A STAR recipient will be recognized at the first board meeting of each month. This is a little different than what we did last year. One of the feedbacks that I've gotten from many principals was that we really need to make it special. We will definitely be able to recognize more than one employee during that board meeting, but to make it real special when most people come out for our board meetings, which is the first one of the month. We also wanted a criteria so that we don't have the same people being recognized from year to year to year. So there's a criteria as far as STAR recognitions that you can only be recommended for a STAR within the first 2 years. And after that first 2 years, the employee will be eligible again to be recognized as a STAR. Some criteria that we're going to look at to prevent I've been working with students all day, but something that we're also looking at are performance indicators. We want to ensure that we are recognizing those people that are consistently performing and providing those high-level job performances, that are consistently providing great customer service and adhering to our missions and values. So we will not acknowledge any employee who has had a poor performance evaluation within the past 2 years. So what is the procedure? What do I have to do in order to recommend an employee for a STAR? Well, you simply need to get one of these forms. The form, as I mentioned before, will be on the website. It will also be available through student assignment, and I will also send out copies to each school and department so that you have it on hand. The nomination form, which is the second page, please. is very, very simple. We're not asking for employees or parents, community members to go all out and fill out this very difficult form. We just want the person in which you want to nominate. We want to know who is nominating that individual. And then a piece of feedback that I've gotten from supervisors is, please let me know if my employee is going to be recognized. This also addresses the concerns that if we have an employee that may have some performance indicators that they need to work on, that can be addressed also. So on this form, there's a blank sheet that says, why should this employee be considered for star recognition? And please describe how the nominee demonstrated the high-level job performance, how they demonstrated quality customer service, and adherence to our mission and vision statement. So with that, these are the basic changes that we've made to STAR. We will start recognizing individuals. This will allow us to have a pool of applicants because we'll get hopefully more and more nominees recognized and suggested to be recognized as a STAR employee. Any questions?
Any questions, board members? Thank you, Ms. Jerger. We'll certainly look forward to our first board meeting in September, where we will begin recognizing some of our very high-performing employees in all facets of the school district. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for the leadership, Ms. Jerger, with that. That's a wonderful task. It's always great to be able to recognize our STAR employees. We will move now to the CTA report and welcome Vanessa Tillman to the podium. Good evening.
Madam Chair, board members, Superintendent Yost. Wow, as we begin this 2014-2015 school year, I must say that the people at the new teacher orientation, there was such level of excitement and commitment. It was just good to feel a sense of rejuvenation of people coming on board here in St. Lucie County. I think that new teacher orientation was very well received. We were able to work well with the district to make sure that our new employees have been welcomed. They have been on a level of being cultivated as to what we're looking for here in St. Lucie County. And as a union, we look forward to, as we have recruited them, that we look at a plan to make sure we are being able to retain and support them in the process. And I know as we talk about cruising to excellence, we look forward to our folks being able to be supported, not only our new employees, but as I moved around to different schools and people were coming back from their summer vacations, we still look forward to being able to support them in their endeavors to make sure our students are being able to get the best instruction and the best support that they can receive. Today I was afforded the opportunity to come when the ESE paras were getting their trainings, and Mr. Tomlinson and his staff did a phenomenal job, and it was just good to see people knowing that they're here to support each other, and that was really, really good that, to create that culture of support and family unit, that we're here for each other, and knowing that none of us can do it separately. No man is an island, no man stands alone. It's going to take all of us working together to make a successful school year, knowing that it's good to have good open communication, so if there's some things, some issues or concerns, that we need to be able to talk about them. We need to be able to start from whatever capacity or whatever position that a person is in, we can do it together, but we have to keep a clear line of communication, knowing that if we're not sure, we're able to pick up the phone, send an email, say, hey, call me, knowing that we may not want to put as much into writing, but we do need to set a tone with everybody that we're here for our students and we're here to support our employees, our staff that works in every school in whatever capacity, driving the bus, cook, whatever it may be, it's going to take all of us working together to make this work this school year. I'm encouraging my reps to make sure that they're going in to have conversations with their administrators so they can have ongoing, clear communications. I've reached out to the new administrators to let them know I am available. My staff is available. And that's the way we make it work. I know in some people's minds, they form their opinion as to what we do and what we don't do. But you know what? It's all about them making their own impressions. But I know what I do. I know what I expect my staff to do. And that's what I will continue to do, that we will have a clear line of communication. And I say to the board members individually, please call us if you hear rumors, because you know what? Rumors are rumors. But in order for us to make sure we're on the same page, we have to talk to each other, not talk at each other. And I'm just excited about this coming school year. We know our great legislators just had a special session, but you know, we don't control that, but we can control what's here in St. Lucie County to make sure it is the best that we can offer. I do congratulate those people who have been appointed in the administrative capacity, and let them know also we are here to support. I want the community, people back at home to know that if I see them, they need to pass a message on to you all. We will make sure that line of communication is there also. So we're just on board, looking forward to make a difference for this school year. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Tillman. It is important to start out on a wonderful, happy note, so thank you for your words of encouragement. And I would like, at this point, to invite Ms. Martha Vickers to bring the CWA report. Welcome, Ms. Vickers. It is a delight to have you here.
Good afternoon, Madam Chairman and Superintendent Yelps. I am Arthur Vickers, First Vice President of CWA. On the behalf of the CWA, President Rick Paulette, we wanted to welcome you back to the St. Lucie County Department for the 2014-2015 school year. We had 2 in-service days training that were it had been a very beneficial experience. The ESC department gave a lot of information that we can use in our daily work, something that we never had before. And we also had a great motivation speaker, Patrick, displayed a great attitude, positive, not negative. And overall, we wish everyone a safe and positive year. And I'm inviting you all to come and ride our buses, visit our 3 sites, and where the other driver can get to know you. You know Martha, but you don't know the other one. And you all need to come out and visit our department. Because if it wasn't for the bus driver, everybody would be home because we the one bring the children. So we really want you all to come and visit the site and talk to the driver, and let's be on one accord. And Monday morning, we'll be looking for you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Vickers. She issued that invitation about a year ago, probably a little more than a year ago, and I have to say it was one of the most delightful experiences I've had to get on the bus and ride. It really was, and I look forward to doing it many more times in the coming years. So thank you for that invitation, and thank you for your words of positiveness as well. If you'll notice on the agenda, we had a scheduled speaker. Mr. Sherrod has advised us once again that he is not able to be with us tonight, so his time for scheduled speaking will be canceled. and we will move to the consent agenda. Board members, the agenda is before us. Do I have a recommendation to approve it as submitted? Moved by Dr. Mills, accept second by Mr. Ingersoll. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Board members, at this time, are there any conflicts you need to declare before we vote? Hearing none, we will move forward and accept the recommendation of the superintendent.
Yes, ma'am. I recommend the board approve a total of 22 consent agenda items, beginning with 7.1 and ending with 15.1 as presented.
Thank you, Madam Superintendent. Board members, are there any items you wish to pull for discussion and separate vote?
I'd like to pull, Madam Chair, 15.1.
Is this for discussion and separate vote or comment?
Well, it could be definitely comment and question.
Okay,
Questions.
but not separate vote?
Not necessarily.
Okay, well, it's your discretion.
We'll pull it out for separate vote then.
Okay. 15.1 will be pulled for discussion and separate vote. Any items that you wish to comment on? Okay, hearing none. We do have one item pulled. At this time, we can vote on all items except 15.1. We have the recommendation affirmatively before us. Do I hear a motion? Moved by Ms. Hensley. Second by Dr. Mills. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. And now before we vote on 15.1, which is the American Reading Company Rising Tide School proposal, we will pull that. Dr. Mills, you had an opportunity for discussion.
Yes, Madam Chair. I'd just like to hear more about the actual curriculum and why we have decided as a district to use that one. I'm sure we've done a lot of research and have come up with this one because of it standing out and being able to really make a difference. But I would like to hear more about the American Reading Company curriculum.
Yes, ma'am. American Reading's Action 100 is the program that is selected and identified in item 15.1. It will be utilized in our elementary schools. So 4 of the 5 schools will adopt the program, implement it with fidelity, as well as obtain training with regularity at each of our school sites. So that would be Sam Gaines Academy in kindergarten through 5th grade, as well as C.A. Moore, White City, and St. Lucie Elementary. So Dan McCarty will not as a middle school. So those 4 schools will utilize Action 100 within their elementary grades. It is a supplement to our Journeys program. It will enhance our regular curriculum. It will complement the scope and sequence. It will enable us to reinforce and build a culture of reading within our elementary schools. American Reading has utilized this program across the nation for some time, and we did take a closer look at some of the schools that had been implementing it for turnaround purposes. For example, it may have been a school identified in DA, which is Differentiated Accountability through the Department of Education, or it could have been one of our lowest 100 schools identified in years past where an additional hour of reading was implemented, and for example, Polk County utilized it rather extensively, and it made an impact in student performance. And that is one of the reasons that we have selected it. Most importantly, to me personally, it enhances our knowledge of and our skill of reading. Our professional development begins with a single day of training. However, it continues for up to 30 days at select sites. Each school will have a different amount of professional development days with which to work. However, the professional developers will be working alongside our teachers. so that we will be implementing the program. We will be learning together. Our professional developers from the company will teach and model. Then they'll permit us to teach and model. There will be reflection, there will be comments, coaching, and guidance throughout the entire process. And that is one of the greatest advantages, in my personal opinion, to Action 100 at this time. We will continue to review the program. We have scheduled weekly conference calls with American Reading Company. There will be an individual who will take the lead, but every school will also have a primary consultant with which they will develop a relationship, and that individual will be here each day there is training within St. Lucie County.
Superintendent Yost, can you make sure that the board knows of those training dates so that if any of us would like to be trained along with it and get more information and
Yes,
knowledge
ma'am.
on the
We are working one quarter at a time, so we have dates available for the first quarter of school. We will share those with you. I also need to point out that item 9.1 on the agenda this evening is a partner item to this. Professional development for item 9.1 is primarily funded by the schools. It is part of their Title I budget at the school-based level. 15.1 is primarily funded through the district. So the two items together will build a complete package to move forward with student performance and impact in the area of reading for our elementary students throughout St. Lucie County. And yes, we will continue to provide you with updates regarding our Rising Tide sites, and this will be a major component for review on a regular basis.
Any other discussion, Dr. Mills? Okay. Any other board member discussion? Okay, we do have the motion before us to affirm item 15.1. Do I hear a motion?
Second.
Moved by Ms. Hensley, second by Dr. Mills. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. And once again, Superintendent Yost, we find ourselves at time for your report.
Thank you, and there are many items to share this evening, beginning with a reminder that there will be an executive session immediately following our board meeting this evening with the board and school board attorney Harrell. So thank you for that. We will meet in the superintendent's conference room. An item that has come to our attention because it is a newly adopted initiative is our after-school bus transportation service. And this is a service being provided to after-school programs such as our Boys and Girls Club, the Clubhouse program. It is an off-site program that would be an example of one of the after-school programs where it would become available. And our parents have had some questions, and so we wanted to offer you some information regarding this initiative in case you are asked when you are out and about in the community, and make certain that you're aware of how we are progressing in this area. As you know, the district did adopt to provide bus transportation for our students to the off-campus sites, after-school programs, and requested the service for its children. So it's been a collaborative dialogue between the after-school program and the school district. The district is charging each after-school program for the cost of the service, since it is beyond the normal home-to-school transportation requirement that the district provides by law. And the amount being charged to the after-school program is for reimbursement for costs only. It is not as if we are attempting to make money. It's not a fundraising or a money-making initiative. It is simply to recoup the costs of the additional expense of providing the service. Each after-school program provider is responsible for reimbursing the district for transportation costs each semester. So it will be collected twice per year. And the program provider must decide where the reimbursement payments will come from. For example, this is not a decision that we are making. We are charging the $100 per person per semester, and if the agency is working with us, wanting us to provide that service to families, they are then determining how to collect the funds and how that will be implemented at their site. And if the parent has questions regarding individual fees, and how they were arrived at for the coming year, we certainly want them to contact their after-school provider, because we are not dictating how this will be addressed at each site. We just know that we are offering the service to after-school programs, and then they are discussing the implementation and how they're handling it on an individual basis with their families. So I wanted to call that to your attention, since we have received several parent inquiries regarding this topic at this time. I know we usually don't take questions one at a time, but are there any questions regarding this topic prior to my moving forward?
Dr. Mills?
Just to clarify to the parents, is this for just the agency that's connected here at the schools, or is it for any nonprofit after-school program?
It is.
Community.
It would be community-based aside from our school-based programs. And I'll use the Boys and Girls Club as an example. Several of their programs are housed at our school sites. There isn't a fee for that purpose. However, there is a fee for transportation, for example, if they are transported to their clubhouse. And so that would be an example of the community connection. And yes, that is one of the many organizations that we are working with, not the sole one. Conversation is underway, and if they choose as an organization to participate, then we discuss the offerings for the year.
So it is open.
It is
to
open.
other organizations besides Boys and Girls
Not for
Club?
profit at this time, yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
that's what I wanted. Thank you.
Just a comment, PALS and the city of Fort Pierce have always used the buses for their football programs, and we've always wanted to make that available to our community that are helping the children in our community, keeping them busy. So we do want to get our cost out of it, we just don't want to make a profit out of it. And we've always made that stance.
Thank you. Then I will move on. Okay. We have a web posting at this time regarding our school safety and security best practices that have been completed by our security department. So I wanted you to know that that was on the website under our district tab. So you can find that information there if you are interested in reviewing it. Also, if you saw luminaries today from the newspaper, one of our recent graduates, Robert Backus Jr., is featured in Luminaries, and we're extremely proud of this young man, and I am thrilled to see the recognition placed on him through our local newspaper. And last but certainly not least is our welcome back activities. It is fabulous to see all of the many energetic individuals return in multiple capacities throughout our district. We had a new teacher orientation. We've had back to school activities for our transportation department, food service, and the list goes on as we prepare for the opening of school next week. Also, our Education Foundation is sponsoring a back-to-school event, a celebration this Friday evening, the 15th, from 6 to 9:30 p.m. at Endless Summer Vineyard and Winery. So that's an activity that is open to all of our employees and guests. As well as we've taken another look, and will continue to do so, at our facilities to make certain that they are ready to receive students. We're prepared to open our doors for open house tomorrow night and Thursday evening throughout the district. And certainly kudos are extended to all of our employees, whether they're preparing to safely transport our students or open our cafeterias and provide nutritious meals, our many teachers and support staff members. We are excited about the return of our students on Monday, August 18th. And yes, Ms. Vickers, I will report to the Transportation Department, South County, on Monday morning at 5:30 a.m., followed by North County Transportation on Tuesday morning at 5:30 a.m. And I know that other members of the senior staff and possibly the board will join us to welcome and send off our transportation staff as they get those wheels rolling for the opening of school. So thank you to all of you who are preparing for the welcome of not only our staff, but our students.
And thanks to you as well, Mrs. Yost, for all your intense planning for a brand new school year. Good news to you as well. Mr. Harrell, do you have a report this evening? Okay, thank you for being here. And we'll move to our school board member reports. And Mr. Ingersoll, we'll begin with you tonight.
I've been visiting schools today, or this last couple of days, and I want to thank all of you. PD has been phenomenal, very directive, very direct, watching the scope and the sequencing of how we're going to teach. No new initiatives, and it's going to be a good year. I want to thank the maintenance department. One of the schools I went to, the air conditioning wasn't working, and it was, thank you, Marty. It was very hot for those teachers in there, and within a couple hours, they had it up and running. Also, we also want to stress, obviously school starts next week. Community, please be careful of our students. If you see someone driving crazy, please don't hesitate to call 911, and we'll send someone out there. We can't afford to have our community suffer like we've had in the past. Also, most of you have received phone calls from our transportation department about transportation and what buses you're supposed to ride. If you haven't received that, look in the newspaper or call transportation. Thank you, Don, for getting that phone call out. I really appreciate the work that you guys are doing.
Thank you, Mr. Ingersoll. Ms. Hensley?
Thank you, Madam Chair. There are a couple of pretty interesting things. You've all heard about the Indian River Lagoon Science Festival that's coming up in September. I would encourage everybody to try to participate at some level. We're trying to make sure that we have this as a stellar event. Next year will be a regional event. The money is coming through a grant from MIT that goes on to Smithsonian. And we want as many children and their families to participate as possible. It is not just about the lagoon, it is about science. And it is focused on the lagoon because that's where the grant's coming, but it is really about the big pictures of science. We are a member of the Health Access Network, 52 organizations, and the HANDS has a new administrator. His name is Dr. Andy Passari. He comes to us with 30 years of experience running hospitals and clinics. So I hope that you would have an opportunity to meet him in the near future. Also, we had a Metropolitan Planning Organization statewide meeting in Sanibel Marriott, not our usual digs for statewide meetings. We usually meet in rooms in Altamont Springs with no windows. But it was a very lively and interesting meeting about what we're going to do as a state for the big picture of transportation needs that will be looming. Some of them are already here, but with our aging population and an increased number of people that we anticipate will be in Florida, we have to look at a bigger picture. So we even had discussions about driverless cars and really some unusual things. But it is a very interesting and dynamic group of people. We would be looking for a new executive director. We've had the same executive director since the organization existed, which was formed 19 years ago. And he is retiring in May, so we'll be looking for an executive director, and it will also be, of course, with any time of change, an opportunity to look at some things in a different way and maybe a larger, more holistic way. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hensley. Ms. Hilson?
Just one comment. The Back to School Expo is this coming Saturday, the 16th, at the Fenn Center from 7 in the morning, which is early, which means I have to be up at 5:30 to be there. But it's going to be worth it. It's from 7 till 11, and they're distributing free book bags to all the students that come. And I know the health department is very involved in it, and I believe there's some type of health screenings and activities going on. So I would encourage everybody to make sure that you're there. I think last year they had literally hundreds of people. So, but just a little reminder. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hilson. Dr. Mills?
Yes, I want to remind the community that we will be having our Kids at Hope tunnels throughout our school district and welcoming our kids back to school, and we're encouraging volunteers to come out and be a part of those tunnels. I believe that we do have it on, do we have it on the website? The different tunnels that they can maybe show up at? No, well, how would they get in contact with us if they want to be a part of the tunnels and learn of what schools are having, what times?
We can post that on the web. We will be glad to take care of that, Ms.
Okay.
Dr. Mills.
So you go right to our website, and you'll be able to see the times for the tunnels and the different schools. And for those of you that may not be aware of our tunnels, It is a group of community people and teachers, and we are together to encourage our children to come back to school, and we have a lot of positive affirmation, and we greet them as they get off their buses and come to school on the first day. Also, I wanted to make a comment on our CTA President, Vanessa Tillman's statement regarding our new teachers. I had the privilege of going to the new teacher orientation, and we have just looked like a wonderful group this year that's starting out. We want to make sure that we can retain these teachers, and so we want to be in full support of what, all the way around, of what they need in the way of retention. Of course, we want to continue our support of all of our educators out there. I want to make an open announcement this evening. I've closed down my preschool so that I can be full-time in the district from this point on. So with that being said, I have a lot more time to give Miss Martha Vickers. You know, I will surely be taking that bus ride and being in places that maybe you have not seen me in before, because I do have more time. I want to encourage those that could use my services within our district just to give me a call, and we'll see what we can do to be available. And welcome back to school, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Mills. I too want to add my welcome. Looking out on the faces tonight, I really can't wait to get children back in the boardroom with us. So I am so eager for school to kick off and get underway and have our children back with us. I have asked for a little bit of a different format for our children performing this year, so be on the lookout for that. Bring new and exciting things to you so that all of you can be aware of just how fabulous the students in St. Lucie County Schools are. I wish you all rest, moments of meditation between now and Monday morning, and be ready to greet your youngsters as you have every year with open arms and open minds. We do have one unscheduled speaker to come before us tonight. Mr. Mark Gotts has turned in his form. Welcome to the podium, Mr. Gotts. We're glad to have you with us tonight.